In this video, we're going to look at how to visualize a distribution of scores. One of the things that we did yesterday was to look at how to do the mean, the median, and the mode, and then which one we should use to kind of determine that tendency. And so the visual analysis here is quicker than the statistical analysis of the numbers themselves, but it's going to tell the same story though. So we know that our mode is 16, median is 18.5, and the mean was a 19.1. The next thing we want to know is the min and max range. Obviously we could say 1 to 36, but that would also leave us with a whole bunch of numbers with zeros. So what we're going to do here is we'll say equals min, and then we're going to do this composite for the table. And we'll close the parentheses, enter, and we get an 11. And then we'll just drag this down here, and we will change this min to max, and we get 33. So when we come up here for the range, we'll say 11 and 12. We'll highlight the two and drag them down to get us to 33. So now we know our range. So our next step now is we want to know the number of scores for this. How many people scored in each one of these scores? To do that, we'll use COUNTIF. So we're going to say equals COUNTIF. Then we'll do our range. And our range here is this composite, comma, and then our composite is going to be this score here. So for this is M2. We hit enter and we get the number 1, so then we'll drag this down, and there we go. So this tells us the number of scores in this range. So now we want to graph the results. So to graph these results, what we're going to do is we're actually going to highlight this column here, go to insert, and then we'll pull this up. Now we know right here from looking at this, so we've got our scores. What we want to do now is actually go in and change this down here to match this range of scores. So we're going to go to select data, and then we're going to edit the horizontal, and we'll choose this range of numbers here. So now when we click OK, now you'll see here's our distribution. So when we look at this now, so we know that the mode is 16 and the median is 18.5. Now we get a better idea of why, because when we look at this, you'll notice we had 3 scores with 4, 3 people with 4s here. So we had 12, 18, and 19 with 4, and then 1 with 5. So really when we look at this amount of data right here, when we look at this mode and we see where this is at in comparison to where our median is, which our median is 18.5 because of these two, and then our mean is actually right here at 19.1, we get a better idea looking at this than we would at just looking at these numbers, and in particular looking at just these numbers at what we're seeing. So this gives us a much better idea of our data. So in this sense, really here, what we're not going to do, and what I wouldn't do anyway, is I would not focus on our mode right here, and we're actually going to change the color of this. So this is our mode. I'm not going to focus on that number so much because the fact that it's only one more than these two. In reality, I'm going to look more towards this area here with these two numbers. Here and here. These are the numbers that I'm going to look more at, because this is closer to the center of the distribution on this frequency of scores we have. So that's how you can do that, and it's a really helpful way to break this down and actually look and see how many people were scoring at each number. And so that's how you do that distribution.